What's up, guys? It's your boy Darkskin, and today we're going to be talking about the top PvP teams in the game. Now, there's a couple of them, and they have a couple of variations for anyone that's wondering. So, we're going to go ahead and go over all the characters and everything like that, so you guys can be up to date or know exactly what teams you should be using. Now, obviously, if you want to use an off-meta team or use whatever team that you've created or built, be my guest. This is based off of the top levels of PvP, like top 100, challenger, champion, etc. Right? This is not going to be based off of like gold or plat. So if you see someone running around with a level 80 Twigo and plat, doesn't mean Twigo is on the best PvP team. That's not how that works, right? So yeah, I just want to get that out the way, let you guys know what's going on. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video. So starting off, we have the pin team. Now, a lot of people don't know what the pin team is. The pin team, or pierce rate team, literally utilizes pierce rate to do more damage. That's basically what the team does. With Meliodas, his AoE card has pierce on it, which gives him triple pierce rate. Does insane amount of damage on his card. Not to mention his pierce rate is naturally good, right? 44%. With the weapons and stuff, it becomes like 53% or something like that. So there is that. Now obviously he has his corrosion card, which is pretty nice, and then his ultimate, which has weak point, so it does triple damage to debuffed units. But the best things about Meliodas is his AoE pierce rate card, and then his passive. He cannot be attack sealed if he has 4 or less ultimate gauge. So you basically cannot stop him from attacking ever. Now, you can obviously petrify him, stun him, freeze him, but outside of that, he's going to be able to attack unless he has 5 ult gauge. But if he has a 5 ult gauge, that just means he's going to ult. So it's perfectly fine. Moving on to another part of the pierce rate team is Lilia. Now Lilia, really good utility with her first card being able to take away ultimate gauge. Right, it's going to be stopping a lot of people, especially like ult rush and stuff like that. Her second card heals, and at rank 2 and 3 it cleanses as well. But the main point of Lilia is her passive increases other allies' pierce rate by 50% of the hero's pierce rate at the start of battle. So whatever her pierce rate is, she will increase her allies by 50%. So if her pierce rate's 50, her allies will get 25% pierce rate each. And this is why it's called the pierce rate team or the pin team, because Lilia, you're gonna run pierce on her for her passive. Meliodas, you're gonna run pierce on him for his card, and it just all stacks into each other and everything like that. Now, those are the main 2 requirements for the pierce rate team mainly. Now that we've got that out of the way, you can bring in Escanor, who is just going to be doing dumb damage because its pierce rate is so high. Added on with the other pierce rate from Lilia, and then he just does a lot of damage with his cards because of his stats and everything like that. You can also bring in Hauser if you want. He has the same pierce card as Meliodas, and he has another attack card which doesn't do as much damage but is still nice. And his passive increases base related stats to all humans, which would be Escanor, Lilia, etc, 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 right? So the main team would be usually is Meliodas, Lilia, then Escanor. Then you can run Hauser in the 4th slot. You can run Arthur in the 4th slot for his passive, which is HP related stats to humans. Or if you want to give the passive to everybody, because Meliodas is not a human, you can run Griamore, which is giving 15% to HP related stats in PvP as well. Now Griamore is literally only used for his passive. That's it. Arthur as well. Arthur is a good unit, but like you're not going to be using him on the pin team outside of for his passive. So these 2 are just options for the passive. Obviously, you can run Hauser in the 4. If you don't have Blue D Melee, you could run Hauser Escanor. That works perfectly fine as well. A lot of people run Blue Demon Meliodas, Lilia, and Valenti. Now, the reason why they run this is to stop other pin teams from doing a lot of damage to them. So if you run like Meliodas, Lilia, Valenti, you can utilize Valenti's passive, which is going to decrease the enemy's pierce rate by her resistance. You could also use Red King, but Red King's not out yet, so you gotta opt for Valenti. That's just what it is. She has a lot of utility with defense down and attack down, etc. So yeah, there is that. As far as the pin team, this is one of the best teams in the game. Currently, and it's going to be for a good while. So Pin Team is definitely a top team in the game. Now, speaking of Valenti has the best team in the game. Like, that's not a joke. That's actual facts. If you guys think I'm lying, if you go to the Hall of Fame, well, not here, go here, right? This guy, the rank 1 player is trolling, right? Which you can see by his gear. He just put a troll team on there so no one could see his team. But if you look at the rank 2 team, it's the tank team. Look at the equipment. UR gear Valenti, UR gear Deanne, UR gear Gil Thunder, and Hauser, right? Literally all HP defense sets. Gulter has triple defense. This is the best team. If you look at the rank 3 player, same team. Obviously he's moving gear around so you can't see the gear as well, but UR gear set Valenti, some UR on Gil Thunder, some UR gear, well, UR gear on Hauser. Long story short, the tank team is the best team, and the reason why is because you can't really beat it with ult rush, and you can't really beat it with pin team, right? So like with it being the most consistently successful team, it's obviously the best team in the game. So starting out, Valenti, I've already briefly talked about her. She's going to be reducing people's pierce rate by her resistance, which if you built gear on her, which a lot of the top tier players have, then you're not going to be losing, right? I have UR gear for her, which most people do, even though most people went HP defense. I went triple defense just because I needed a triple defense set and I already had it built. But yeah, most people have resistance sub rolls on her, so their resistance is going to be really good when it comes to her. So yeah, like most of the top tier players have that gear, so they're able to utilize her a lot better. So yeah, her passive, amazing. She obviously brings the utility, and her ultimate kind of counters other tank teams, because if Merlin perfect cubes, it counts as a buff, and she does double damage to buffed enemies on her ultimate. So that's really, really good. Now, speaking of Merlin, Merlin is really good on this team just because she can take away ult gates, number 1. Her perfect cube works really well with Valenti, because if you can't do damage, this is the thing, right? Not only will you not be able to do damage to this team, or you'll do minimal damage, if Merlin puts the shield up and you don't do damage, Gulter's passive stacks, number 1. Number 2, you can't take away ult gauge, you can't petrify, or any of that. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to them, right? Because it's like if I petrify Merlin, she obviously can't take away my ult gauge or perfect cube. But if the perfect cube's up and I don't get through it, I can't petrify, I can't do any of that stuff. And it's like if you ult rush, you're gonna be tanking most of the damage when it comes to, you know, well, the perfect cube will take most of the damage. Her ultimate does good damage, attack steals, which is whatever, but her passive makes everyone's ult gauge 1, which is really nice because you can basically ult rush with someone on turn 1, and if you ult rush with Gulther turn 1, it's going to be really, really nice. So there is that. Typically you want to ult rush with Merlin so you can get like the perfect cube fusion into the level 2 or something like that, but I mean, whatever the case, it's really, really good. Gulther can attack seal, right? Amazing. Gulther can rank up anyone's skills, amazing. His ultimate is an AoE ult depletion, and with King not being on the team, you can use the Fate Link, so now it depletes 5 ult gauge and does more damage, right? And if Gulther is not attacked, the next turn he is going to increase all allies attack by 10%. Stacks up to 5 times. So if you, and this is where like the perfect cube and Valenti come in. All right, so if you're not damaging Gulther, after 5 turns, Gulther is going to have a 50% attack boost increase. It doesn't matter if he has HP defense on or not. He's going to be hitting like a truck. Very, very strong. So that's where this team is just, it's super tanky, and you can't really get through. And Gulther naturally has high defensive stats, right? His resistance base is 60%. With 86 6-star, it becomes 64, and with outfits it becomes about 70 plus. So really, really good. Obviously, there's no other option on the 4th slot besides Gil Thunder, giving defense-related stats to his allies, making Valenti's passive stronger, making Merlin tankier, Gulther tankier, etc. So, really, really good. Not to mention, he does have Rupture, which this doesn't matter on his first card, But if you boost attack and then perfect cube, Merlin's perfect cube will be stronger as well. He's an easy unit to max, so very, very safe option for that team. Now, getting into the last bit, well, the last team that you could possibly run, basically, is going to be Ult Rush. Now, with Ult Rush, you're obviously going to have Gother, which is going to be on the front. You're obviously going to have Merlin in the 4th slot. You're obviously going to have King. Now, this is the thing, right? If you guys want to look at my team, this is the team I've been running for since Blue D Melly dropped, right? Since Blue Demon Meliodas has dropped, I've been running this team right here. This is the team I run. This is literally Ult Rush, except instead of Helbram or Escanor or whoever, I have Valenti. So this is the team I run. I beat the Pierce Rate team like almost every match. Sometimes I lose to like Helbram or Kingbram. Sometimes I might lose the tank team. But I have a really, like, I win almost all of my matches, honestly, with this team. King is just very good against Valenti because his ultimate ignores resistance, right? On top of the cleansing, the healing. I don't really have to explain why King's good as far as Ult Rush. I've seen a lot of people use this right here. I've seen a lot of people use this, and I actually use this for a good while as well. Some people use this. I feel like King's better because of the resistance, and it's like if like Helbram beats the tank team, but he loses the pin team really, really bad. So it's not worth using Helbram over King when you can win 90% of your matches, right? With King over Helbram. So that is the case as far as why I use you know, why I use King over Helbram when it comes to Ult Rush. Also, if you guys don't know, you can also use Green King for Ult Rush as well. Now, if you guys don't know, Green King literally has the same ult as Blue King, but since they're going to be the pin team has 2 blue units and a green unit, you're going to be doing more damage with him than Blue King. Mine's 4-6. Obviously, you need ult dupes to get him up there. I need to get him 6-6, but I've been running this team a lot. I've been just switching in and out of Blue King, Red King, or Blue King, Green King, excuse me, as far as this team goes, because both of them are really, really good when it comes to Ult Rush, and I can use both of them really, really well as well. So, yeah, Ult Rush is obviously an option. Like I said, I was using Helbram before, like, Blue Demon or Lilia dropped, I guess you could say. But once Lilia dropped and Pin Team became official, I stopped using Helbram. I started using either of these kings with Ult Rush. So, yeah, these two with, you know, Valenti, Gother, Merlin. Or you could use Tank Team or Pin Team. But anyways, those are the top tier teams in the game. Now, obviously, you can mix and match a couple of other characters. Say you want to run, Giant Blue Deanne on Ult Rush, you'd be my guest. I mean, she doesn't work as well as the others, but I know not everyone has everybody, so you will have to just try to fill in whatever you can. I know not everybody has Escanor. You can run Hauser, Blue D Melly. I know not everybody has Blue D Melly. You could run Hauser in his, you know, place. There's a lot of mix and matches, but these three are the best teams in the game right now. Obviously, you got to realize, like, Pin Team is partly humans, because literally everyone on the team is human except for Blue D Melly. So there is that. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. That being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.